Good morning. Welcome to Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace. We are Unitarian Universalists. Ours is a historic faith with a progressive theology, grounded in love, a love which calls us to see the holy in each being and to take compassionate action in our world. In this space, we gather with open minds, open hearts, and open hands to practice acceptance, forgiveness, and growth. Welcoming people of all nations, all creeds, all ages, all genders, all cultures, all kinds of love. Whether you are here every week, came today for the first time, or just stop in once in a while, we celebrate all of who you are and all you are becoming. You are welcome here.
I'm Art Nava, this morning's worship coordinator. My pronouns are he, him. Rich Abreu and I are joined by Hannah Shanefield and Hyungju Young in leading worship today. Rich's pronouns are he, him, and Hannah and Hyungju both use she, her. We couldn't do this without our tech team, greeters, ushers, and coffee hour host. Thank you, friends. A warm welcome to our guest preacher, Rich Abreu. Rich has been a member of Arlington Street Church since 2011. He lives in Lowell and watches a lot of movies. And despite his youthful good looks, he is now a great uncle to a 1-year-old. If you're new to Arlington Street, welcome. We're so glad you're here and would love to stay connected. I hope you will visit our website at arlingtonstreet.org and sign up for our weekly e-newsletter. If you're in the sanctuary here, please fill out a pew card and put it in the basket during the offering time to let us know how to be in touch with you. And Zoomers, you can find a link in the chat to a form to fill out to help us stay in touch. A special welcome to Jason and Kim Bootsy, friends visiting from Billerica. And if you'd like more in Arlington Street in your week, please go to arlingtonstreet.org. There are weekly gatherings in the Zoom room for loving kindness meditation, poetry, and yoga, as well as a community tea every Wednesday at 5 p.m. All are welcome. Next Sunday's preacher is the Reverend Derek Jackson, who serves as the Ministerial Credentialing Director at the Unitarian Universalist Association. He will be joined by Kel Alford, Shay Brown, and Hyungju Young. We hope you'll join us for another wonderful service next week. If you came this morning with a joy or a concern in your heart, you're invited to light a candle at home and share in the chat, or come up and light a silent candle at the table to the right of the Gleason podium at any time during the service. It's a hot summer here in Boston, and those of us in person are experiencing that this 162-year-old building doesn't have air conditioning. There's water in the back. Please help yourself at any time during the service. If at any time you need help, our ushers are here to support you. Let's do all we can to take care of one another. After the service, everyone is invited to join a virtual coffee hour by joining the Zoom stream during the Postlude. And now Keith is going to turn the camera on the in-person congregation as we wave and smile at each other as well as at our friends in the Zoom room. And you all in Zoom can wave and smile back. Hello to all our friends near and far. Let's all engage that Arlington Street spirit of welcome that transcends physical distance as we greet one another heart to heart. Whether you've been coming here for years or today is your first time at Arlington Street, welcome home. Please join in saying the affirmation and covenant of this beloved spiritual community. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat. Love is the spirit of this congregation, and service is our gift. This is our great covenant, to dwell together in peace, to speak our truths in love, and to help one another.
From politician Bill Bullard. Opinion is really the lowest form of human knowledge. It requires no accountability and no understanding. The highest form of knowledge is empathy. for it requires us to suspend our egos and live in another's world.
Hello, everybody. Our first hymn today is one of two songs by the Beatles. Woohoo! This one is All You Need Is Love. The words are printed in your order of service and will be shared in the chat as well. I invite you to rise in body, rise in spirit, and sing along. There's nothing you can do that can't be done. Nothing you can sing that can't be sung. Nothing you can say, but you can learn how to play the game. It's easy. There's nothing you can make that can't be made. No one you can save that can't be saved. Nothing you can do, but you can learn how to be you in time. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. There's nothing you can know that isn't known. Nothing you can see that isn't shown. There's nowhere you can be that isn't where you're meant to be. It's easy. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love. Love. Love is all you need. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. Love, love, love. All you need is love. All you need is love. All you need is love, love. Love is all you need. Amen.
This is Point of View, a poem by Shel Silverstein. Thanksgiving dinners sad and thankless, Christmas dinners dark and blue, when you stop and try to see it from the turkey's point of view. Sunday dinner isn't sunny, Easter feasts are just bad luck when you see it from the viewpoint of a chicken or a duck. Oh, how I once loved tuna salad, pork and lobsters, lamb chops too, till I stopped and looked at dinner from the dinner's point of view.
Our next hymn is With a Little Help from My Friends, also by the Beatles. This is another one with a lot of words in the verses and less words in the chorus. So feel free to sing along with as many words as you can, but certainly the chorus. The words are in the chat as well as the order of service. I invite you to rise in body, rise in spirit, and sing along. What would you think if I sang out of tune? Would you stand up and walk out on me? my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. What do I do when my love is away? Does it worry you to be alone? How do I feel by the end of the day? Are you sad 'cause you're on your own? No, I get by with a little help from my friends. Get high with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I need somebody to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Would you believe in a love as first sight? Yes, I'm certain it happens all the time. What do you see when you turn out the light? I can't tell you, but I know it's mine. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Get high with a little help from my friends. Oh, I'm gonna try with a little help from my friends. Do you need anybody? I just need someone to love. Could it be anybody? I want somebody to love. Oh, I get by with a little help from my friends. Gonna try with a little help from my friends. Oh, I get high with a little help from my friends. Yeah, I get by with a little help from my friends. With a little help from my friends.
This is my 4th summer sermon, and this is the sermon I've always started writing but never finished. It's a tricky story to tell, and I've never felt that I was doing it justice, so I've always pivoted to another topic. But this year seems like the right time. Let's see how it goes. My grandfather, my mother's father, was not a great person. His alcoholism was a disease, but his tendency for physical and emotional abuse was a straight-up character flaw. Even when he could hold a job, he drank his paycheck and punished his wife and 4 kids for his own failures. Bad husband, bad father. So bad, in fact, that my grandmother had to make a choice. One day, while my grandfather was out of the house, she packed up her kids, loaded them into the car, and drove away. She didn't even have a driver's license. In the early 1950s, this was a bold and desperate action for a woman to take. It was also the correct thing to do. And for decades, my grandfather was out of the picture. Good riddance. Then, in 1981, my mother got a phone call. It was the hospital. My grandfather, drunk as always, had slipped on some ice and smacked his head pretty hard on the ground. They located my mother on some old paperwork as next of kin. Now, my mother owed him nothing, less than nothing. If she had just hung up the phone, nobody would have judged her for it. But my mother is a good-hearted person. He was in the hospital, facing surgery to relieve the swelling on his brain, with nobody to rely on but his alcoholic acquaintances. My mother's empathy was stronger than any residual bitterness. She stepped up. For almost 2 years, she shepherded him through various surgeries and other procedures. His mind seemed intact, but he had lost the ability to speak, which was an enormous blessing. She She held his hand as he was going through alcohol withdrawal for the first time in his life. She got him into a nursing home and would visit him 2 or 3 times a week. She'd update him on what the doctors were saying about his condition. She'd bring him new clothes and usually a milkshake. I was in my early teens, and I'd go with her just for moral support. I had no relationship with my grandfather, but my own empathy had me worried about my mom's emotional well-being. About once a month or so, my grandfather would end up being sent to the hospital for various complications from his condition. My mother worked in Peabody, and when the hospital would call, she'd drop what she was doing and drive to Lowell to be with him. She was determined that he was not going to die without family by his side. So on this one particular Friday, she got a call at work that her father was back in the hospital. She was finishing up a project for her boss. So for the first time, she didn't drop everything and go to the hospital. She finished what she was doing, only 20 or 25 minutes. And then she left for the hospital. Of course, you can see where this story is headed. She arrived just a little too late. He had died while she was on the way. I could see the effect this had on her. She was devastated. Again, not that she owed him anything, but her sense of empathy allowed her to see past the angry, pathetic man that had hurt her and her family. She was able to put herself in his situation, and she treated him not like he deserved, but like she herself would want to be treated. In the end, she missed that final step in the plan. She wasn't there, and he was sung out of this world by beeping machines in a noisy hospital. As the months passed, I could see that she was not going to forgive herself. Some people describe love as a multifaceted diamond with each shimmering cut representing an expression of love. Whatever. I'm gay, so I'll describe love as a disco ball. Each mirrored tile represents a tiny slice of love: forgiveness, generosity of money, generosity of time, sympathy, compassion, and empathy. You can slice up love into 1,000 glittery bits. They're all love. And as such, they all have the capacity to break your heart. She responded to my father's accident with empathy. And choosing any kind of love is always the correct answer. But in this case, it also bit back and left her a little broken. The author Dennis Lehane puts it this way: sympathy is easy. You have sympathy for starving children swatting at flies on late-night commercials. Sympathy is easy because it comes from a position of power. Empathy is getting down on your knees and looking someone else in the eye and realizing you could be them, and all that separates you is luck. Close, but Walt Whitman put it better. I do not ask the wounded person how he feels. I myself become the wounded person. And that's the key. Empathy is not about feeling sorry for somebody or identifying with a person on an intellectual level. It's about actually sharing a person's emotions, putting yourself in that person's situation and feeling what they feel. It's something we're designed to do. Unless there's a serious physical or chemical defect in our brains, we're all born with the capacity for empathy. We're born with the seed of it. A baby will cry when it hears another baby crying. But just like we're born with the capacity for language, the skill doesn't develop unless we use it. It needs to be nurtured and practiced. And I think you'll agree that this world is pretty terrible at encouraging empathy. You may have seen Trump supporters with bumper stickers that say, "F your feelings." There's this notion that feeling empathy makes you woke, whatever that means this week. Bill Clinton was famous for campaigning with the slogan, "I feel your pain." That seems like a long, long time ago. Elon Musk famously said, "The fundamental weakness of Western civilization is empathy." But Elon Musk is a sociopath who should keep his damn mouth shut. Charlie Kirk said empathy was a made-up New Age term that does a lot of damage, and he certainly lived his life according to that belief. A much more enlightened person, Roger Ebert, who was in his own way a kind of philosopher, once said, "I believe empathy is the most essential quality of civilization." And Roger Ebert is correct. When we talk about humans being social creatures, we're talking about empathy. It's the thing that lets us share the joy of a new parent, and it's the thing that drives people to run into a burning building to rescue an elderly stranger. In many ways, it's the glue that holds us together. It's a basic ingredient in moral leadership. It's the thing that allows us to live in societies. It's the thing that makes us want to make the world better for everybody, not just ourselves. Several weeks ago, I went to see Disclosure Day, the new Steven Spielberg film. In it, the world is on the brink of war, but aliens have given Emily Blunt's character a superpower. It's not super strength or flight or laser beams shooting out of her eyes. It's empathy, turbocharged empathy. She uses it to disarm military troops and perhaps pull the world back from the brink of annihilation. I loved the movie and I loved the message. It's a lesson in the power of empathy set against the backdrop of an action movie. It's a great vehicle for injecting empathy into the national discourse. More like this, please. Now I'm going to tell you about a woman named Joyce. She has a story very similar to my mother's, but with a very different ending. Joyce was a hospital administrator, and one afternoon the ER was short-staffed, so she went down to help out for a bit. After a little while, an ambulance came in with an old man. His chart said he was John Milligan, but somebody had written in quotation marks, Scotty. And this reminded Joyce of something her mother had once told her. In a drunken tantrum, she told Joyce that her father was not her real father. Her real father was a guy she had met at the bar. His nickname was Scotty, because he had moved to the US as a young man from Scotland. That's it. That's all she had. A guy named Scotty was her father. Her mother had just said it to hurt her. Mission accomplished. Was it true? That was almost beside the point. The man in front of her was dying, and his nickname was apparently Scotty. He was alone, and Joyce's empathy told her she needed to stay with this man and give him a little comfort and companionship as he quietly and peacefully passed away. So she did. Was he actually her father? Almost certainly not. This was the 1980s, so there was no DNA test to take, no Ancestry.com, not even the World Wide Web. But Joyce wanted to know for sure whether or not that man was her father. It took a couple of years of digging through City Hall records, tracking down old employers and co-workers, through stories and phone books. That's just what it took back in those days. He hadn't left much of a paper trail. And when she was done, to her absolute amazement, it was true. That man had been her father. And her empathy for this poor old man allowed her to finally, in those last possible moments, meet her father and witness his passing. And her empathy meant that her father did not die alone. It's an amazing story. So amazing, in fact, it's frankly hard to believe. And I haven't even told you the crazy part yet. So at this point, it's almost 2 years after that old man died, and now that she knew it was her dad, here's what Joyce did next. She called my mother. Why? Because that man she met in the ER wasn't just her father, he was also my mother's father, my grandfather, and Joyce, it turns out, is my mother's half-sister. So while my mother sat in rush hour traffic 2 years earlier, trying and failing to get to the hospital, Joyce was already there. His daughter was by his side. He had family with him at the end. It was exactly what my mother had wanted. When Joyce told her the story, in an instant, my mother was saved. History was rewritten. Her guilt about missing her father's death swept away like dust. He didn't die alone. He didn't die alone. I've spoken from this pulpit before about my atheism, but it's hard to tell a story like this without using words like miraculous and divine intervention. I could use words like karma and supernatural, but they don't quite capture the vast impossibility of what happened. When my mother hung up the phone with Joyce, she was quiet for a while. I knew the call had been big news because my mom went from confused to happy to crying to laughing. When she finally sat me down to tell the story, it changed me. I remember thinking at the time, it's going to take me weeks to wrap my head around this. Now, 4 decades later, I'm still trying to wrap my head around it. It was like something had peeled back a corner of the sky to give me a tiny glimpse of the hidden, unknowable gears and pistons of the universe. Invisible machinery that could somehow orchestrate the impossible. Something that was outside the realm of rationality, literally inconceivable. It made my head swim. When that hospital called in 1981 about her father slipping on the ice, my mother chose empathy over bitterness. By doing so, she set in motion a series of events that would result in a perfect stranger meeting her biological father, my mother meeting a half-sister she never knew she had, and me changing the way I saw the world. 40 years later, Joyce and my mom are still friends. I'm finally giving this sermon now because my mom had a stroke earlier this year, and her grip on reality is steadily slipping away due to vascular dementia. I go see her every couple of days, and she'll tell me in great detail about all the employees at the nursing home carrying guns, and the secret doors that lead back to her house, and that trip she took yesterday to Florida. But her capacity for love remains. She's thrilled to see me. She can't stop telling me how much she loves me. She's sorry that I get stuck writing out her bills. I know her future is bleak, but I also know that her love for me and for the rest of my family will be the last part of her to fade away. So I wanted to share with you this extraordinary snippet from her life well lived. Beloved spiritual companions, this is what I'm trying to say. When you hear a voice in the back of your head urging you down the road of empathy, listen to it. A cold heart won't make your world any bigger or any better. Empathy might lead you to new experiences and unexpected connections that improve your life, and maybe even blow your ever-loving mind. Adventure awaits. Amen, Ashe, and blessed be.
We join now in our ritual of sharing community candles of sorrow and joy. In addition to sharing our sorrows and joys this morning, let's reach out to one another in the week ahead, staying connected. May these times remind us of how very precious this beloved community is. We need one another. Whether together or apart, may we stay very close. We'll begin by singing There Is a Love. The words are printed in your order of service and in the chat.
We join in sharing our burdens and our blessings, offering the prayers of our hearts to the care of this community. We hear and hold one another's yearnings and celebrations in the depth of our hearts.
We have one community candle this morning from Kevin Terrell. This is a candle of joy. I broke my leg on the 4th of July and have been convalescing at home ever since. I'm happy to report that my recovery is going well. My mobility is improving, and I'm glad to be back in my usual spot behind the Zoom deck. Special thanks to those in this community who visited me, including Bill, Keith, Connie, Philip, Judah, and Rich and Art. And extra special thanks to my husband, Michael, who has been by my side practically every moment since my accident. I couldn't ask for a better husband. Today also marks 12 years to the day since we were married. Happy 12th anniversary, Michael. I love you, infinity plus one.
For all the sorrows and all the joys we hold in our hearts, we light a silent candle to remember and to rejoice. May the peace of this sanctuary enter into our hearts as we share a quiet moment together, breathing our prayers for ourselves, for one another, for our country, for all nations, for all beings. Amen.
Arlington Street is entirely self-sustaining. It's up to us. Generosity is a key spiritual practice here, and it shows. Your contributions help our services, our justice work, and our spiritual home thrive. Please take a moment now to join in giving to sustain our beloved Arlington Street. Instructions for giving can be found in your order of service and the Zoom chat. We now give and receive this morning's offering in celebration of the generosity that gives us life. Our final hymn is Blue Boat Home, number 1064 in the teal hymnal. We'll be led by Hannah, once again, and the words to sing along can be found in the order of service in the chat and hymn number 1064 in the teal hymnal. When we're done singing this hymn, please remain standing for the benediction. And for now, let's rise in body, rise in spirit, and sing together Blue Boat Home, number 1064.
As we begin our benediction, I invite those of you in the Zoom room to please reach out your hands and touch the sides of your square. And those of you in the sanctuary, please raise your hands, palms out. Let's send loving kindness to the people to your left and to your right. Send loving kindness to the person on either side of you and the people on either side of them. Send out love into this beloved spiritual community and feel it coming back to you. As you feel it coming back, bring your hands back to heart center to carry the love that is the spirit of this congregation with you wherever you go. We'll close the service with a quote from Henry David Thoreau. Could a greater miracle take place than for us to look through each other's eyes for an instant? There's that word again, miracle. I'm starting to feel like a pretty poor excuse for an atheist. Love is the spirit of this congregation. May love hold us all until we meet again. Let us keep this faith, beloveds, and pass it on. The service begins when the service ends. Amen.
Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. Where you go, I will go, beloved. Where you go, I will go. For your people are my people. Your people are mine. Your people are my people. Your divine, my divine.
We are located at the corner of Arlington and Boylston Streets, across from the Public Garden in Boston, Massachusetts. Arlington Street Church, gathered in love and service for justice and peace.